Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. The message reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I live in a small remote village here in Zim. Brother Nashi, our village, it is quite a simple one, and people, they do know each other. But there are some secrets that I have, and people do not even know that this is what I do, because I hide behind church. I'm always present at church, and people do not even know that this is what I do. I go to a traditional church, do not want to mention it by name. It began many years ago. I was just a young woman, and at that time I had just gotten married. My mother-in-law, at first, she hated me. Usually when you see so much tension between a woman who is married into a family and her mother-in-law, most of the times you need to know that the tension, it is because there is a spiritual battle that will be happening. It's either the daughter-in-law might be someone who is a witch already, or maybe the mother-in-law is the one who is a witch that will be trying to make her daughter-in-law to become a witch like her. And that is why you will see so much hatred, because common sense will be like, okay, why do you hate your daughter-in-law? Why? Is it not that she has come into your son's life so that she can make your son's life to be better? So why hate her? So most of the times you need to know that this is what causes the tension between a woman and her mother-in-law. So that is exactly what happened to me at that time. When I got married, my mother-in-law, she hated me with all of her heart. She did not want anything to do with me. She told me and she called me all sorts of names. You are a barren woman, so she will say. And when I would fail to fall pregnant, she will say that indeed I am a barren woman. And then I fell pregnant for her son, and then I thought that she was going to be happy. To my surprise, she then said that the pregnancy that I was carrying was not her son's child, and I lost the baby under very mysterious circumstances. And I then went to a prophet. The prophet, he was real with me. He did not beat around the bush. He said, there are times when you say, yeah, pray, do that. But this prophet then told me that my mother-in-law, she was someone who was very powerful spiritually. Today, I might be giving you some prayers, he said, but I don't think that the prayers are going to change anything. For your mother-in-law is someone who is very powerful. I said, so what am I supposed to do? He then told me that it was so much better for me to follow my mother-in-law. It's not like he said that you should be a witch like her. He just said, you just need to follow whatever that she wants you to do with her. You are a mature woman now. You are no longer a small girl. The decision is yours. That is what he said to me. So I returned back to my mother-in-law. A witch can sense if you have accepted her witchcraft. If you have accepted whatever the witch wants you to do, immediately she will sense it in the spiritual realm. When I arrived back to her compound, my mother-in-law, she became like really friendly with me, something that she had never done before. So at that time, that was when I had a dream, and in my dream she came to me, but she came to me as an old woman. She was naked. Immediately I knew that this meant that this was my mother-in-law. She came to me, and then she said, follow me, oh daughter-in-law. So I followed her. She was smiling and singing, and she looked really happy. We then went into the forest. Deep into the forest, we arrived at this other tree, which was really close to this other sacred tree that is called a muhacha tree in our country. And then that was when I saw that they were having their witch meeting. Even right now, that is where we still have the meeting right there. So my mother-in-law, she had her 4 togologies. They were small twisted creatures, sharp teeth, eyes that are always glowing red. Even though it was my first time to see them, but I could feel that there was a connection that was developing between me and them. Like these dogologies, when they are hungry, I also get to be hungry, like that type of hunger, so much that you feel like you are starving to death. That is what I feel. So this will make you to do whatever that your children, the dogologies, want. If they say that we want blood, if I am starving like that, then I will act. So the dogologies then were given to me, not all of them. In return for their protection, I was going to feed them, not with food, but with blood and the pain and the suffering of other people. During the day, my mother-in-law, she will teach me how to call these dogologies. In the time that we would be calling the dogologies, then we would have cooked some sorghum porridge, and then we would call them whistling and whistling. That is how we call them. Then they would come down from the mountains, from the trees. Then they will start to feed on that sorghum porridge. Then I started becoming very powerful. Even right now, with just a flick of my hand like this, I can place a curse on a person, bringing them pain and sorrow. I am someone who is feared. Like people, they just get afraid. When I am in an environment, everyone just feels so nervous, not sure what they will be fearing. The reason is because I have this oil that was taken from a lion. So, like all the creatures are afraid of a lion. So when I am traveling, this is what I do, and that is what I specialize in. There are other witches that can come sometimes from other villages, so much that I will say to them, who told you that this is what I specialize in? Because they would have told me from the place where they would be coming from, really far as Malawi. Because when you are a witch, you cannot do everything. You cannot bewitch people the way that you want. It's just like they are specialist doctors. So that is what we do as well. It depends with who trained you. My mother-in-law, she was a specialist when it comes to causing tumors in the human body, especially the legs. If she would bewitch you, she will feed you at night. Then the food that she would have given you, mixed with human meat and charms, it will cause your legs to start swelling, and tumors will start to grow, and the pain that you'll be feeling, it will be too much. You can go to the doctor, but this type of a cancer, you will never heal. And after you would have died, then my goblins, they can always find something to feed on. So this is what happens each and every time. After we would have successfully killed someone, I'll start to hear my dogologists laughing. Then I will know that it is done. The person has died. They will laugh even from the morning until in the evening. Then we will go and we will look at our animal that we would have slaughtered. Then we wait for our animal to get buried. It's either with the help of other witches. Then we will start to cut up the pieces. As for me, it's not like I really like human meat, but I have to be involved in that ritual particularly so that these goblins can feed. I do feed them. It depends. Sometimes I feed them once a year or twice a year. These goblins are the ones that help me to do some activities at my compound, because me and my husband, we are tobacco farmers. It is like hard labor. So I use these 3 topologies that were given to me by my mother-in-law, and my husband does not even know that these topologies, the way that they work really hard, that is the reason as to why we are able to make so much money from harvesting our tobacco. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Yo.